y'all. What is going on? Welcome back to my channel. It is BarbMeetsWorld. I am here with my recap and review for Married to Medicine Season 10, Episode 8, Take a Nappa. And that is exactly what I did, y'all. I was pretty bored for the majority of this episode. It was giving filler. It was giving nap, like I just said. But before we get into all of that, y'all, if you are not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you hit that subscription button. Make sure that you like the video as well. That really, really helps the channel out. That helps me grow. And also, let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. Did I forget anything else? Turn on your post notifications so you know every time I upload. Check the description box below as well. Let me go ahead and throw up my banner. My social medias are all scrolling along the bottom there. So make sure that you follow me on there as well. And what else do I have? I believe that's all. I know I'm late with this, you guys. I do apologize. I definitely apologize about that. But as always, you know, I might not be on time, but I always come through. So this is what this is. Please, if you guys can hear my fan, I do apologize. I freaking fell asleep last night with the heat on too high. So it was like 75 in here this morning. And that was not what I was trying to feel. And the only reason why I even had the heat up high is because this house has such poor air circulation. Literally, it was 75 degrees up here and 65 degrees downstairs yesterday. Like, this system sucks so bad. But whatever, this ain't my house. We're just renting, so it is what it is. This is just more of a reason why I am so eager to buy my own house out here, because it's just annoying. Anyway, moving right along, let's get into this video, shall we? Okay, we pick up with, I think Simone still had like a quick little phone call. Who cares? Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly. Why are they still bringing up the same quad, them kicking off her? Why are they still bringing up kicking quad off the trip, that whole situation? I'm totally over that. Don't want to hear about it anymore. You guys have made it clear that you don't want her around, so don't keep bringing her up then. If you keep bringing her up, then she may as well be there. She may as well still resume her role amongst this cast. And so you can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. And I feel like these two ladies are amongst those on this cast that just somehow don't see their actions in this situation. And as it pertains to Jackie, she never saw it for quad, in my opinion, anyway. So this shouldn't really be the topic of conversation, because this is always how you felt, I feel like. And Jackie even had the nerve to say, like, I think they voted themselves off the island. What? How does she vote herself off the island when she said, like, that she was attempting with y'all? This was a show of reconciliation for her. Y'all are the ones that said it ain't no love over here for you. So, Jackie? And I don't feel like you guys have all grown. I call BS. I feel like, especially as it pertains to you, that and this is why I think you have been called out so much so over the last couple of weeks, Jackie, is because you display the characteristics of somebody who has not grown, someone who doesn't see anything wrong with their actions, or almost turns their nose up at other people on this cast and stuff. But let me stop Because as Dr. Heavenly would say, she's a doctor. She ain't got no reason to lie. She don't lie. So I'm just going to leave that there for you guys. Heavenly's wig. The entire show, I was so just over her wig, and I just kept having to remind myself that she owns a beauty supply store. So why does her wig look like that? Like, huh? Please, somebody educate me on why her wig was just sitting up like a bird's nest on her head. Like, come on now. Just pull it down a centimeter or 3. Heavenly also jokes about trapping Damon, which if you guys have been paying attention to the blogs lately and to the lives lately, you will know that Sweet Tea kind of doubled down and has been, and I'm doing air quotes, y'all, she's been coming for Dr. Heavenly. How do we feel about that? Do we feel like she's been coming for Dr. Heavenly, or do we feel like she is just defending herself? That's kind of been the argument that I've been seeing transpire. Some are saying that Dr. Heavenly is being her normal bully-like self, if you will. And she started it with Sweet Tea, and Sweet Tea is simply just defending herself. And then you got others that are saying that she's keeping it going with Dr. Heavenly. Y'all let me know in the comments below what your opinion is on that. Jackie also extends herself to Allura because, as we all know, Heavenly be doing a lot. It is good that she is another outlet for Allura as she embarks on her young adulthood journey, her college journey. It's always good to have those individuals that you can call and, you know, gain support from. So it's good to see that she has that. So Toya has planned a spa day for the ladies. Everybody pretty much showed up in like black athleisure wear, except for some reason Dr. Alicia didn't get the memo. So she was in like this white peasant style like dress. It was a nice dress, but totally the wrong occasion if you ask me. I don't think that she actually went to change either, so but whatever, that's her business. So Sweet Tea at this point in time is feeling pretty refreshed. She said she was able to get everything off her chest that she wanted to say to Heavenly the day prior. So it almost served as a sense of relief for her. I don't feel like that's going to last very long. And again, y'all, if you've been paying attention to the blogs, if you caught the lives, because I believe it's like Phaedra, they do their lives on Sunday about the episodes and stuff. So on this past episode, Dr. Heavenly and Sweet Tea got into it real bad. So that's why I say now, one, the reunion should be giving. And I say should be because at the end of the day, it's all up to these ladies. They're the ones that go to get up there and put on a show. But as it stands right now, the reunion should be giving. And Sweet Tea and Dr. Heavenly, I do not see them reconciling. Or if they do, it'll be short-lived because Heavenly's going to be Heavenly. And Sweet Tea ain't here for anybody talking about her old man. But shout out to Toya in this scene for trying to help Heavenly fix her wig, child. Oh my goodness. Just she needs some training wheels on that thing because it just be slipping and sliding and doing whatever it wants. Good God. Come look in the mirror. Oh my God, that made me laugh so hard. So then I believe at this point they all take off and they are going to be going, like I said before, half of them are going to do the spa mud baths, and that is going to be Toya, Simone, Phaedra, and Alicia, whilst Heavenly, Jackie, and Sweet Tea do the Tuk Tuk tour. And I didn't know what they meant by that at first, but I was like, oh, I've done that before. I've done that in Charleston. I've done that in New Orleans. Like, oh, I thought they was going, I don't know. I expected something more in depth with the Tuk Tuk tour, but whatever. It was cute in the end. Then we get into some like period panties and diarrhea talk. Didn't really understand why we were talking about that, but just anyway. Down at the mud bath, the mud to me looked really rejuvenating and detoxifying. I am all about a mud bath. I am all about a spa experience. We have a really nice spot out here called Glen Ivy. If you're in the Southern California area, y'all need to go ahead and check out Glen Ivy. I wouldn't go right now because it is like an outdoor type of experience. The pools and everything obviously are outdoors, and the mud bath area is like an outdoor area and stuff like that. But in the springtime, once the weather breaks, in the summertime, like, y'all need to try it. 10 out of 10 recommend. They have some really good packages. They need to actually, we need to partner. They need to bring me on as a and to do some influencer marketing for them, because I love that place. Wasn't able to go last year, which was unfortunate, but this year I plan on making a mini trips up there. So I was here for the mud bath, but apparently it didn't smell too nice. And I'm just like, just get in it. Like, just get in it. It had peat moss in it, which is actually the type of soil that or moss, I should say, that I use for my plants. So I thought that was pretty cool. Phaedra clearly doesn't know the characteristics of vaginas, if you ask me, because you shouldn't be smelling like no peach pie. Yeah, so let's just get that straight right here. Over at the Tuk Tuk tour, they go cruise around the freaking Napa Valley or whatever, and they stop for a charcuterie board, which it looked nice. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. Like I said, though, I just expected a little bit more with them. Like, I'd be like, you couldn't get us, I don't know, like, what is the equivalent? They're up there at the spa. We're on this little putt toot tour. Like, whatever. Sweet Tea makes mention of her being a millennial and that the other ladies are out of touch. They are dang near her grandmama age. And at this point, I couldn't feel a way about her saying that, because they've been age shaming her since she first appeared on episode 1. So can't really feel a way about that. I do, however, I can't empathize with that completely, because I'm somebody that has friends that range that 20 plus years older than me, and then I also have younger friends. Like, so I fall right in the middle of a lot of friend groups that I'm in. So I just can't relate. But if that's how she feels, then that's how she feels. Their only commonalities are that they are Black women with vaginas. I feel like, I mean, y'all got another thing in common, which is that your new husband is also around the age. So clearly you do have things that are in common with older people. Or is that only as it pertains to those that have something swinging between their legs? Like, I don't, whatever. Back in Atlanta, Eugene pulls up to Simone and Cecil's house. He's going to have a cigar. It's the male bonding time. With Cecil, we know that Cecil is always here for a good time. He's not here to really do much more than that, if you ask me. And I only say that because he be having that smirk on his face 24/7. Of course, he loves that Simone isn't there. He loves that she's out of town because he's able to run amok and do what he wants to do and smoke cigars in the house and allow his boys to run mucks and not try to further themselves in life. That's just how I see it, y'all. Sorry. So when speaking on the topic of, is it Kemma, Dr. Alicia's husband, Eugene found it quite comical that he thinks the way he does, especially around these ladies, the Toyas and the Simones especially, aka two women that don't back down at all in any situation. So I think they're just watching him set himself up for what is to come, maybe. Or I'm not mad at that at all. I can't say anything bad about Eugene. I really cannot overall. So if that's his assessment, then I'm also in support of that. I'm gonna watch you set yourself up because your way of thinking is so just, I don't know. To me, it's very foreign. That's not, what works over here in my household or anything. I'd rather not be with somebody with that line of thinking. And Alicia, she keeps saying how she saw marriage, or she views marriage as a partnership, whereas he views it as being deeply rooted in these strict gender roles. And again, that wouldn't work for me. And it's seeming like it's not working for her all the way either. But she's still not wanting to address that, or she's not wanting to really be honest with herself, if you ask me, because she keeps bringing it up. And she also will say that she has her moments where she shows up like that, but then she also has her moments where she doesn't. So stop trying to fit into this box that you don't want to be in. You keep saying you were raised by a single mother and stuff who was doing a damn thing, yet you're over here reducing yourself to just whatever he wants you to be and how he wants you to show up as his wife, when that's not who you really want to be. Like I don't see the value in doing that. That doesn't sound fun. That's not love from my eyes. It's not. But they also made mention of her in the whole, when she popped her head out when they were having their man time in episodes prior to this, in the beginning of the season, when she popped her head out and was like, I'm ready to go, whatever. And he was basically like, men are talking, I'll be in there when I get in there. That's how I took it, because it was just kind of like awkward and cringy. Eugene also said he finds him a bit barbaric, and I completely agree. And I'm glad Cecil wasn't trying to be delusional either, because we all know that he is damn well not no woman in her place kind of guy with Simone. I think Simone is a Cecil in his place kind of woman. That's what I think. That's what I think. Because he ain't running nothing over there but up the light bill, if you ask me. At the same time, again, we see the ladies, Simone, Toya, Alicia, and Phaedra, they're lounging after their treatments and they're talking. And this is when, like I was just saying, Simone is asking Alicia about her husband and the kids and everything. And she thinks that this has made him find a newly formed appreciation for her. I don't really think it's that as much as it's done to pacify her. I don't really think he sees the value in learning how to watch his kids on his own. But again, we haven't seen enough of these two on their own one-on-one scenes to really be able to deduce what's going on for real. So I'm just speaking off of my feelings right now and my summarization of what I've been seeing. So then we get into some interesting conversation about marriage. Toya goes on to say something that kind of threw me off a bit. And she doesn't agree, or she's under the thought that as a grown woman, you need a man. And me, I'm here to tell you, at my 29 years of age, married woman over here, I'm here to tell you that I don't agree with that. I don't think that you need anybody technically, because we were all put on this earth by ourselves. We all came into this world alone. Excuse me. I drank some water. We were all put on this world alone, and I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with seeking companionship. There's nothing wrong with wanting to share an experience and do life, so to speak, with somebody. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. But forming a codependency on anybody else is not healthy, if you ask me. And I feel like it turns into projection when you try to continue to pose questions and try to tell somebody that, like, how they're gonna feel because they don't have that. Like, you're not a mind reader. That might be how you think and how you operate in life, but that's not everybody else's reality. And I say this because the conversation really was between like Phaedra and Toya / Simone, kind of. And Toya, I believe, asked Phaedra if she ever wanted to get married again. If you guys are Real Housewives of Atlanta watchers, especially, some seasons ago, then you will know when Phaedra was over there, she was married to Apollo. And they got their marriage dissolved into a pile of crust, dust, and doo-doo. So I wasn't surprised by her saying that she doesn't want to get married again. And I actually agree and support that logic. She want to do what she want to do when she want to do it. She got her own money. And I understand what she meant when she says that there's no need for a label, especially when the individuals are high earners. Sometimes that just, if it's not broke, don't fix it, kind of. That's what I took from her. And as we all know, but we don't know, but we know, like, she keeps her little things on the side, or whatever. But as far as having a full life, she's not waiting on anybody to drop down on a knee in order to do so. She was the way she was in her marriage because that's just how she was and wanted to show up in the world at that time. But she's been doing the damn thing over here on her own and doesn't want to probably give up those freedoms. And I totally get that. Like, what's the point? And I'm, again, saying this as a fully married woman myself. I feel like if I was to not be in my marriage at some point, one day, whatever, this is not me speaking anything into existence by any means, but just comparing situations right now, if I was in her shoes, I will I probably, no, I don't think that I'm somebody who really would even want to get married again. And we're not even the same woman. So I completely understood this. But then I also look at Toya, and I understand that Toya's the type of person that, for lack of a better phrase, she likes to be considered a kept woman. She likes to spend up Eugene's money. She likes to lead a life of leisure. And I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that either. Clearly, it works for them because, honestly, y'all, looking at it from the outside looking in, I feel like Toya and Eugene probably have the most healthy, the most, honest, transparent marriage. I feel like how they show up on this show is how they are in real life. And it's worked for them for over 15 years or however long they've been together. So kudos to them. But I need Toya to take it a couple steps back and realize that that's not the same life that everybody else wants. And Simone, you also trying to throw out that, oh, once the boys leave the nest, she'll be so unhappy and stuff like that. She's going to be jet setting every other day, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure she'll miss her sons, but I mean, I think she'll figure it out. And as it pertains to Phaedra telling the boys about what happened with her and Apollo, she says that they read about it. And she, at the end of the day, wants them to form their own opinions of their father as a person. Toya also disagrees with her approach to that as well. She says she likes to answer questions before they're asked. And Phaedra responds by saying, that's good for you and your household. And this is probably the best scene that I've seen with Phaedra this season. This is the best commentary. I liked seeing her in this moment and what she added to the conversation in this moment. What works for you in your house is not always going to work for everybody in everybody else's house. And I totally, for the most part, am in agreement with telling your kids and educating them on things before somebody in the outside world does. But in this situation, I don't disagree with Phaedra's approach either. She didn't say that she was trying to like keep them from him, or she's not trying to fill their head up with her biased opinions or anything like that. So unfortunately, your children are going to typically consume media in some percentage or another. So I don't see anything wrong with her doing it the way that she's doing it either. But that was it for that, y'all. So it's the last dinner, and they're all looking like they're going to different places. If you ask me, did Jackie still have on her bathrobe over top of her? Phaedra's entire outfit from wig to toe, I did not care for at all. It was way too much. We also find out that Heavenly had taken off earlier in the day. We know Elora was graduating around this time, so she's not in attendance. And Jackie's still on cloud nine, over talking to Kamala Harris and everything. Sweet Tea is appreciative of being around the women because they allowed her to form a better understanding of her own health. And I'm gonna just save my comments on that type of topic for a little bit later. Jackie also educates them on surrogacy. I'm just gonna roll through this. I really, like I said, I was bored with this episode a lot. She also tells them that some parents may want you to abstain from sex if you're their surrogate. And Toya understood this because we find out that Eugene had an issue with having sex when she was pregnant because he felt like it was nothing on the baby's head. And I was like, what? Eugene, you are I want you to not think that. Oh my goodness. I want you to not think that Dr. Eugene Harris. Toya's favorite part was having 3 new bodies amongst them. The 3 new bodies being Dr. Alicia, Phaedra, and Sweet Tea. Which I feel like I'm not going to make this about Quad. But I felt as though she went out of her way to make mention of that when so that lets us know that there is room in her life for new people to enter and stuff, but she just is very selective about who she lets through those doors, which I understand. I do understand that, because I'm selective about who I share my presence with and my space with. But I'm like, you're laying it on super thick, I feel like, right now, because you are trying to make it abundantly clear that you don't really care about Quad or her presence, and this is the crowd that you rather be in. Oh, Toya's gonna be Toya at the end of the day. Phaedra loved seeing Toya win and shine and get to know her and see her being the business woman that she is claiming to be these days. I'm happy for her in that regard as well. I said that earlier on in my videos that it is good to see Toya using her reach, using her platform to profit off of, ultimately to turn a profit, I should say. She's been on the show for a long time, and it's good to see her actually curate her own personal brand. Jackie asked a loaded question when she asked about everything. Do they feel good about everything they decided to do during the weekend? I feel like it was a super loaded question, and we all know that Toya, like I was just saying, she's not going to see anything wrong with her actions, and I don't feel like any of them at this point in time were trying to see that their actions were very distasteful. At least for me, they were. But when we speak on the importance of accountability, I feel like, Jackie, you have no dog in that fight, because even with this whole situation of you speaking on pregnant Black women and everything that we've seen surrounding that in these blogs over the last couple of weeks, you really lacked accountability. I feel like in all of your videos and your responses to the situation, I always was a little bit short of feeling like you took accountability. I do. So I want her to stop bringing that up. They then close it out by taking her a group photo or whatever. So, okay, back in Atlanta, Kim was talking about, I survived. I don't clap. I don't go up for fathers that make it seem like it's just like some rocket science type situation when they're watching their own kids, or making it seem like they're babysitting their own kids or whatever. Like, this shouldn't have been I survived, like, oh, you left me with it. Like, no, those are your kids. You should be equally as responsible, and their mother should be able to go on a girls trip without you burning the house down trying to make SpaghettiOs for the kids. Like, goodbye. Miles sitting at home, not packing, looking goofy and irresponsible, playing those effing video games would have sent me through the roof. If I was Simone, I would not have found it in me to laugh at any of his jokes. You would have seen my head spin around if I was her, because you're not learning, you're not trying, and it's not cute, it's not funny. you're a grown-ass man at this point. You should be trying to propel yourself in a better direction than what you're doing. You're not even trying at this point. She was just closing on the house that y'all are supposed to move in. You can't even pack your shit. Like, get the... Anyway. Toya asked Eugene to assist her in taking her weave out, which is something that I totally would do and have done with no shame. Yeah, we're going to put those hands to work, especially if they are used to doing very, very meticulous and skilled movements and stuff. You're really good at surgery and stuff like that. Yeah, go ahead and cut this on out. She details her trip. She says that, it was, a good time or whatever. And it was a cute moment between them. They're reigniting the spark in their marriage right now and really trying to like learn each other after 15 years in and stuff. And, I totally understand that too. I am not the same person I was 5, 6, 7 plus years ago when I first met my husband. I'm not that same person. And you do have to put in the effort to continue to grow and learn and keep things alive, in your relationship, in your marriage, whatever. Like it's a continued effort. It's not the work is all done. Everything's just going to take care of itself for the next 40 years once you walk down the aisle. Absolutely not. You will be at the courthouse before you know it, before they even print out your marriage certificate. You will be getting an annulment if that is what you think. I'm telling y'all. I am telling y'all from my experience. I wouldn't tell you guys anything that I don't know firsthand. I know what I'm talking about when I say that. So I understood 100% in this moment what she thought. Hold up, y'all. Did you guys... Okay, now that I got that out the way, Dr. Heavenly Alora. Alora is definitely wise beyond her years, as we've always known since she's been on the show at such a young age. We've seen her grow, and I really, really, really love the woman that she is becoming. So much so that I follow her Instagram. Like I love it. I love it. I love it. Love seeing her win out here. The sky's the limit. So at this point in time, she is a high school graduate. She'll soon be off to FAMU, which I wonder if she ever sees, because doesn't Grace, Giselle's daughter, go there? I wonder if they ever link up or see each other or whatever. That's cute. That's cute. Heavenly is super proud, rightfully so. But in this moment, Alora takes the time to share something that's been really heavy on her mind. And that is Heavenly reconciling with her sister. We know that she is estranged from her sister. We know that they don't have the best relationship thanks to their mother. So Alora really wants to see them form a relationship now that she's about to be leaving the nest and everything. I completely understood that. And I think that, I mean, not only do I want to see that, but I think that is something that Heavenly definitely does need to do. I want to see how she is once she does do that. And I want to see what her sister's like too. Like, I can't lie. But she, of course, was kind of resistant to it when Alora first brought it up. She does say that was, her mom's last wish was for her and her sister to get along. And I felt like I'm sorry, I'm not talking about anyone's mother by any means, but I feel like that's kind of a lot of what we see sometimes when people are transitioning. We see them kind of throw things out there or try to kind of kind of right their wrongs a bit, like, and I feel like it's just crazy that she would say that or want them to do that when in all actuality you were the one that kind of like would entice them to compete with one another. And I just can't imagine that. I got 3 sisters, shout out to them, and I would never feel like I need to be in a competition with any of them, or I would never, like, I just I don't agree with that. I think that is very, very unfortunate because it didn't need to be that way. It didn't have to be that way. It shouldn't have been that way. And now, unfortunately, they're the only 2 people that can rectify this. And Laura makes mention of that as well. They're both stuck in their own world with things, and the mom is not there. She kind of, you know, started this whole thing up between them, but they have to take things up with one another, both of them. So she does eventually come around, and she calls her sister right then and there, and she didn't pick up, but she did she left a decent voicemail. She left a good voicemail. So I'm eager to see if they've talked since then. Did her sister return her call or whatever? We haven't seen anything more on that on the blogs or anything like that. So that's all we know for now. The final scene we get, y'all, is with Sweet Tea. She's at the she at the Garden College, yeah. And the specialist, you know, she was referred by Simone, she was referred over to the specialist because she says that she's been having so much pain, and over the years it's gotten worse. Let that marinate for a second. She's been having so much pain, and over the years it's gotten worse, to the point that she had to take muscle relaxers on this Napa trip. So with all that being said, the doctor tells her that her symptoms are completely not normal. She thinks that she has endometriosis, and definitely she has fibroids, large fibroids that require surgery. So she asks what anybody in this situation probably would ask, which is if it will affect her getting pregnant. You know, that she's wanting so hard to have a baby. She let that be known when she first slid into Dr. G's DMs. She said that she could give him what he wanted because she had been watching the show and knew that this man wanted a baby more than anything at that point. And the doctor tells her the truth, and she says that it will affect her getting pregnant, or because there'll be some challenges associated with it. She didn't say it definitely wouldn't happen, but she definitely said there is going to be challenges. And Sweet Tea, she's still learning, of course, at this point in time, who she is in front of the camera, how she wants to present herself, whatever. So her response to me didn't really seem as over the top as it would have been, I feel like, for a lot of other people maybe in this moment. It was very like, she was like, oh my God, oh wow, grabs tissue. You know, in the confessional, she talks about how this was not a part of her life plan. And she calls Dr. G, of course, to tell him what happened. And I think she said the doctor also mentioned there being a 50% chance she may not be able to conceive. He also was kind of, and again, in this situation, I would think that he would be in the mindset of trying to console her and not get her more worked up or anything like that, or blame her or anything like that. So I get him not being completely over top either, but even his response was a little muted, a little bit more than I would have thought. And maybe I'm thinking that because I am under, y'all, I feel like she knew this, or she knew something was up, or she just wanted to be in his DMs. She thought that she could take Quad's place. She thought that she had it in a bag or whatever when she slid in the DMs with all that, only to find out that that's not even, like, no. Because I just can't, I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot understand how somebody who's been having these types of issues, like, it shouldn't even taken you to want to get pregnant. I feel like I would have been at the doctor years ago. Like, you're taking muscle relaxers, like, just use some common sense. I feel, I'm sorry, but this is how I feel. Use some common sense. You should have known something maybe was a little off or whatever. And I do understand that a lot of stuff goes undetected for a while, but based on her symptoms, this is obviously something that plagued your life for quite a while. Like, you didn't think maybe to look into this prior to this, or maybe you should have held your horses a little bit rather than showing up extra thirsty in his DMs like that. Like, none of these light bulbs went off. I don't know. It's just hard for me to buy. Like, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it right now. So it was hard for me to feel like anything but that I wasn't trying to buy it in this moment. But yeah, y'all. That's it. That's it. That was the episode. Like I said, I try to make this a little bit more detailed and colorful for you guys, because the episode did not give me that at all. But nonetheless, this was my recap and review for episode 8 of Married to Medicine. Back at it tomorrow with episode 9. Airs tomorrow, so I'll be back in a more timely fashion with that video this upcoming week. I appreciate you guys for listening. Make sure, again, you are subscribed, you are liking the video, you are commenting in the comments, you are sharing me with your friends, family, associates, colleagues. Hell, you could even share me with your enemies. I don't care. Make sure you're doing all those things, y'all. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know every time I upload. Check the description box below. Follow me on my socials. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. All right. Bye, y'all.